Getting a sneaky look at scenes that got cut from the Harry Potter movies gives us a whole new perspective on our favorite characters and their relationships. These deleted moments would have made such a difference if they'd made the final cut. Romantic highlights, character revelations, amazing music, they're all here. Even a whole character that got cut. Go behind the scenes to see what else happened to Harry, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, and the squad.
Come on!
A lot of the lighter moments came in the first movie, as we all got engrossed in what being a Hogwarts student was really like. So a longer scene of back-and-forth banter would have been A-okay with us, like Hermione scolding Ron for playing with his chocolate frog cards instead of studying for their final exams.
Ask me any question.
All right, what are the 3 most crucial ingredients in a forgetfulness potion?
I forgot.
In the beginning, Harry's wonder at the difference between the Muggle world and the magical world made it all the more exciting to enter that enchanting place, for viewers too. And what showed the difference particularly well are all the scenes where Harry and Hagrid are in the Muggle world. So we would have loved to watch the boy who lived and the giant taking a ride on the tube train on the London Underground, especially when Hagrid says he'd love to have a dragon and gets a funny look from a commuter.
I'd love a dragon.
You'd like a dragon?
Vastly misunderstood beasts, Harry.
It's always good when Harry can play a part in solving a mystery rather than Hermione all the time. And this happens in a deleted scene where he discovers a major clue about the Philosopher's Stone. He's reading Dumbledore's chocolate frog card when he finds a mention of
Partner Nicholas FLAMEL.
Harry knew the name sounded familiar as he remembered reading it on the train that first day. The idea of a squib, someone who was born into a wizarding family but hasn't got any magic powers, isn't introduced in the movies until the 5th installment, but it would have cropped up in the second film had they not cut the scene where Harry and Ron discover Filch's secret, and the fact that the caretaker was desperate to improve his magical ability with a correspondence course in beginner's magic from Quickspell.
Mr. Filch, you dropped this.
It goes some way to explaining why Filch is quite so mean-spirited. He's concerned that he doesn't truly fit in or measure up at Hogwarts. In a deleted scene from The Prisoner of Azkaban, we get to see Professor McGonagall in her pajamas in the Gryffindor common room, and we get to see the rest of Gryffindor House in their PJs too, talking about how Sirius Black had managed to break in. The professor asks Sir Cadogan, who'd been acting as the Gryffindor's portrait, how it all went down.
Certainly, good lady. He had the password.
This would have further built up the tension about Sirius while giving us a fun insight into everyone's nightwear choices. We would have loved to see more of the Weird Sisters' performance at the Yule Ball in the Goblet of Fire. It's not only fun to see the Britpop legend Jarvis Crocker rock out to Wizard Pop, but also to see the Hogwarts students acting like regular students, dancing and being carefree. Sure, we get a brief glimpse of this in the final cut, but this deleted scene runs the whole length of the song. And by connecting with the students as being just like us, we can empathize more with them when it comes to the Battle of Hogwarts at the end of the franchise. A lot of the quieter moments in the movies got cut, and that's understandable. They don't necessarily move the plot along or have a script. But these scenes make us feel so much more for the characters, like when Harry takes a somber moment to reflect on Sirius's passing. The deleted scene from The Order of the Phoenix shows us not only how Harry is feeling, but also how Ron is always there for him, trying to help.
Thanks, Ron. I'm not really in the mood.
But as happens so often with Harry, he chooses to face this moment on his own, rather than let Ron stay with him. Before Dumbledore's end in The Half-Blood Prince, there's a moving scene where we're shown each of the characters reflecting on the events about to come. The montage is set to a beautiful piece of music sung by the Hogwarts Choir. It's so atmospheric and gives us viewers a moment to reflect and let it all sink in too. Snape's face is of particular significance, given his part in what's to come. It would have been quite the spoiler for the final 2 movies had it not been cut. Harry and Ginny's relationship has caused a lot of debate amongst fans, with many people not shipping this eventual couple at all. But if more scenes of the pair of them being each other's rock had been shown, perhaps they would have got more support from the fandom. Like this moment, when they're marching down the stairs in the Deathly Hallows. That subtle holding of hands, being there for one another while being silent, speaks volumes of their support for each other. Given the number of times Hermione outsmarted Ron, we'd love to have seen more scenes where he got to be the one with the knowledge and skills for a change, and she was impressed by him. And we got that in this deleted scene from The Deathly Hallows Part 1, where Ron shows Hermione how to skim stones. It would have added more depth to the growing relationship between them. And hey, it would have also taught us all how to become master stone skimmers. Just follow Ron's advice. First, select a flat stone. The flatter, the better. Get quite low, lean back a bit, and flick the wrist.
So I'm back then.
It's two. It's good.
There are certain characters that we would have loved to see more of on screen, and Victor Crumb is certainly high up on that list. He did actually appear in a deleted scene at Bill and Fleur's wedding in the Deathly Hallows Part 1. It's pretty difficult to find the actual scene, just stills, but we've dug up some footage of the pair actually dancing together. It's important for Hermione's character development because, as Emma Watson says,
She's coming into a new role and she's a young woman now.
the look on Ron's face. Aunt Petunia was never a likable character, but J.K. Rowling typically gives each one of her creations more depth than being all good or all bad. And had this scene from the Deathly Hallows Part 1 made the final cut, we would have gotten insight into the more human, loving side of Lily's jealous, unpleasant sister. It's fitting that Harry finally gets to see this side of his mom's sister as they're finally parting ways for good.
You didn't just lose a mother that night in Godric's Hollow, you know. I lost a sister.
Remus Lupin and Nymphadora Tonks were such an awesome couple whose lives got cut short tragically early. And what makes their eventual fate all the more heartbreaking is being reminded of their young son, Teddy, which is exactly what this deleted scene in the Deathly Hallows Part 2 shows us when Tonks runs to Lupin and tells him why she's left their little one at home.
He'll sleep till dawn and snore like his father. It's you that needs me tonight.
Ron and Hermione's relationship is one of the highlights of the franchise. So why would they choose to cut any moment that adds depth to their romance? Especially the moment where Ron's about to tell Hermione that he loves her in the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Given that they're being chased by a snake that doesn't have the most amazing CGI, perhaps it was to do with the special effects. But the emotion in the scene and Hermione's brilliant response should have earned a spot in the final cut.
I don't want you to say anything that you wouldn't say if we weren't about to be killed by a giant snake.
Anyone who loves Nearly Headless Nick will be up in arms about this bit of behind-the-scenes information. They actually filmed scenes with Peeves too, but those moments never made it into the final cut of the first movie. British comedian Rick Mayall is known for his anarchic humor, so he was absolutely perfect as the mischievous poltergeist.
I was Peeves in Harry Potter.
He explained that he kept making the other actors laugh when he was playing the part, so it took quite a while to film. But a month later, the decision was made to cut his scenes. He would have definitely added some great light relief.
You're not in the film. What? So we've cut you out of the film?
Which of these deleted moments do you think should have made the final cut? How have they changed your view on the movies? Be sure to let us know in the comments and hit that like button to show your love for the Harry Potter franchise. Thanks for watching!